Three, two, one. All right. So we're going to be talking about how to build sales team with no money. So how to build a sales team with no money, how to build and use AI to create digital salespeople. Oh, what else I have here? How to build sales team as you scale, all of these things. And I have one of my John, he's like the whole brain behind one of the things that I love doing, and that's talking about building digital sales teams and the chatbots and all of these things. And John is one of the very, very intelligent developers that has helped me with my website and creating my AI, artificial intelligence, lead generation bots for some of my websites, and myself as that marketing technology broker for service-based businesses. I help those folks build those sales teams. And so what I have John here is here's one of the faces behind my team to make things happen for my clients, those individuals who are saying, Kendall, you're doing this all by yourself. The answer is no. I'm not building the chat bots, but as a business owner, you work with me to build that team around how to build that sales team, that digital sales team. That's what you're looking for. And then I have those resources like John to be able to put those things together for you. So John, thank you so much for coming on this. I think I'm going to do this as a series, right?
Yeah, great. Sounds great.
Like how to use AI as a series. So, and I know that you are deep and involved in a lot of the AI development. So tell us about your thoughts about AI and a little bit about your background and how we work together.
Yeah, absolutely. AI, it's kind of the buzzword that everyone is talking about now. And there's a lot of different ways that businesses can use AI, but really what we're trying to use it for is to really help engage with your website visitors, be that customers or users, and more on the support side. But that's really what we're trying to change the game and trying to engage in a different way and try to lead the conversation in a direction that you want to go, but also leave the door open for the user or customer to kind of guide themselves and answer some questions. And then once you're ready to purchase, or once you're ready to be transferred into a lead, then they're ready to go. So that's what AI really helps do, is nurture those.
Now, when you're talking about AI, many people think that it is something in a movie. So do you get that kind of conversation? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of folks, they think that AI is going to take over the world, like it's Terminator and it's Judgment Day or something coming around the corner. And that's not quite where AI is right now. AI is almost like a kindergartner, right? And to really effectively use AI in your businesses, you have to teach it in the correct manner. So, there's a couple of different examples of some AI Twitter bots going kind of down the deep end of bad things. So what we try to do is we use human in the loop. So we're making sure that a human is touching that AI chatbot on a daily basis to make sure that it's learning, but learning in the proper direction.
Mm-hmm. Right. And so, folks, if you're interested in learning more about how to use AI and how to use AI to create digital sales team members, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Give this video, an episode, a thumbs up, and subscribe so you can get notifications, because we're going to talk more in depth about how to do that. And then, of course, in the description section below, just connect with me and my team, and then we can schedule a call to figure out how it would work in your business, because everyone is so different. So as we're talking about how to use AI and how to build a sales team, especially with those, there's a lot of small businesses that need help right now, right? And they don't have a sales team. They might have one or two or three individuals, but they're not working 24/7. They don't always follow the right procedures. They don't always enter data the correct way. So how does the process that you see that has been very beneficial to use a digital sales team, and how to build that digital sales team and use AI in making sure they're working 24/7, they're not missing any steps? Give us some of the specific things that a business owner should do before setting up this type of process.
So really, when we're building chatbots, there's a couple of different approaches that we build them towards. So one is kind of an easier process where you kind of act as a glorified navigation bar, and that's a good way to kind of push folks towards certain products or certain services that you're offering. But really, what we try to build is an approach that you're more acting like a sales rep or a customer service rep when somebody walks in your brick and mortar store, right? So it's that somebody walks into a shoe store and you say, hey, I'm looking for some hiking boots. And the sales rep says, "Hey, the hiking boots are over here. Are you looking for winter hiking boots? Are you looking for summer hiking boots? Or your cold temperature, things like that?" So we're asking different questions to really help find that product recommendation that they're really looking for. So asking different questions to try to answer them, quickly, and then also try to push them down the funnel a little bit if you're more on the sales side. So we're trying to answer all the questions that they have, so that they can, once they're ready to fill out a contact us form or some sort of, free consultation, they go ahead and fill out that form. And then we take a Zapier connection so that we can zap that information straight into CRM. And then from there, all the workflows for whatever CRM that you're operating with kind of take over. So any calls or emails, any templates, things like that, that all flows right when they start filling out that chatbot form.
Gotcha. So one of the things you talked about was Zapier. So some people don't know what that is, or a lot of people don't know what that is. So what specifically is how to use Zapier? What is Zapier?
Yeah, so Zapier is, they call it a middleware. So what it does is it takes a packet of data from one location and transfers it to another. So without the use of an API, writing a custom API. So once you write an API to Zapier, then all of the integrations that Zapier has, then it kind of eliminates the use or the need for writing a custom API. So what we're doing with that information is we're taking it from the chatbot. It's having a webhook for Zapier, so we're trying to make sure that goes to the proper location and actually goes through and flows with the proper data points and the endpoints. So essentially, we're just trying to make sure that the systems are communicating with each other in an easier manner.
Gotcha. And is Zapier something that's easy for most small businesses to understand or use?
Absolutely. So what you can do is you can set up a certain workflow. So if somebody fills out a form on your website or the chatbot, we can send that information into a Google Sheet if you run off that, or if you're working with Salesforce, we can send them straight into Salesforce. So that allows you to really determine what steps that you want to take once that customer turns into a lead, or once that prospect, turns into a lead.
And I pulled it up now, and so it says connect your apps and automate workflows. And so when we're talking about integrating the different CRMs together, like a Thrive or a Pipedrive, this is the tool that you would use to connect everything together. Is that correct?
Absolutely. So with this, you can, whatever custom flow that you want to set up, where as soon as somebody fills out the lead form, you have a email template that you can pull up and send off to them, and then they get dumped into your Pipedrive, and then from there, Pipedrive, you can take them and put them in a certain categories or stages, so you can really control exactly what kind of flow happens as soon as a prospect turns into a lead. Gotcha.
And when you're trying to turn these individuals to a lead with that Zapier connection, now I know the answer to this, but how do you help that small business owner understand what to do, because on how to make this all happen?
Yeah, so from working with Zapier, it really depends on what kind of workflow that you want to set up, and what emails and how many times you want to touch a prospect, and if they were, you can set it up as simply as if they opened an email or not. If they didn't open up the email, then you can send them a different version of an email, versus if they opened up the email and they didn't reply to the email, then you can send a different version of that. So it really just depends on how deep and how far you want to go with those workflows.
Now, going back to the chatbots, so can you make the AI funny and humorous and kind of like, so how does the language work?
Oh, absolutely. So the language, which is really nice, it's fully customizable, and we want to make sure that it matches your brand and your messaging. So what we want to do is you can throw a little bit of humor in there. That's exactly what we do. So one thing that we do is so a fallback is when somebody types something into the bot that the bot doesn't understand. When it doesn't understand it, it has a fallback reply, something along the lines of, "Sorry, I didn't understand that. If you want to talk to a human, you can call this number." So we try to do a little bit of humor, saying, "Hey, sorry, my robot brain didn't understand that one. I'm learning over time and I'm getting smarter, but my programmers haven't told me that information yet. If you want to talk to a human, you can call this number." So that's what we're trying to try to mix it in there a little bit, and you can put it not only in the text replies, but also provide some videos if you want to do videos or images and things like that. So really, there are so many different points in the conversation within the bot that you can add a little bit of humor and a little bit of spice. So that's the nice part, is wherever that you want to put it in there, and as much as you want, you can.
Now, what are some of the challenges with building a sales team and a digital sales team that you found as you're helping and as we're developing this for small business owners?
The biggest challenge?
Mm-hmm.
Really, the biggest challenge is making sure that you engage your users in the right time in the journey and with the right messaging. You're really trying to make sure that if they have a specific question, you're answering that question to the fullest of the knowledge, so that you're able to give a little more confidence in your users and your customers, and then help push them a little further, and then hopefully they become a customer if they're a prospect. So.
No, that's perfect. Because if you want to know how to build a sales team with no money, you still have to have a business to have money, right? So it's not, but you might not have money to hire some more sales staff, but then utilizing the different artificial intelligence and the bots to be able to do that for you, a chat bot to do that for you, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And so what are some of how long does it take to build out an intelligent e-commerce type of machine learning chatbot?
Yeah. So typically for us, when we're building bots for our clients, depends on how busy our pipeline is. But typically, week and a half, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, depending on how complex the bot is, and how complex you want the task how complex the tasks that you want it to complete are. But really what we try to do is we'll meet with our clients to discuss the approach of the bot, discuss exactly how you want to talk to your customers and your clients. And then we go ahead and build the bot. We make sure it gets live and goes through all of our testing. And then we do daily AI training to make sure that it gets smarter over time. So we have
so what's AI training? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, so AI training is we are able to go through all of the transcripts that users and how the users interact with the bot. So, what buttons they click on, what text that they enter, and when they hit a fallback. And that's our biggest way to help make sure that it gets smarter. Is that if somebody types something into the bot that the bot doesn't understand, it's going to hit the fallback reply. We go ahead and check that fallback and say, oh, they clicked this button, they asked this question, it was answered, then they clicked this other button, and then they asked a question that didn't understand. Well, how are we able to, or what kind of messaging or reply do you want to have in there? And we go ahead and add that, and then it's next time it's faced with that question, we're able to answer that effectively. So we make sure that we're doing that every single day to make sure it's not anything's falling through the cracks.
Gotcha. So, folks, if you're interested in getting a little bit more information about how AI and how to create a digital sales team, go ahead and the link in the description section below and click on a planning session with myself, and then the person who I'm going to be connecting you with eventually after we go through what you really want to have done for you to grow and scale your business. Now, when you're talking about doing all of that, it seems like a lot of work to make sure that the AI bot is learning and understanding and reading transcripts. Now, your team does all of that, and the business owner doesn't have to do all of that type of work?
Nope. The only work that you're going to have to do is if something comes in and we say, hey, how do you want to reply to this question? That's about it. So we want to make sure that our clients are involved in the process as much as they want. We want to make sure that the bot is something that they're going to be proud of. So we're going to obviously give our recommendations and give certain techniques that we've seen work in the past, but we want to make sure that the client is involved as much as they want. So when we build these out, typically we'll have some point of contact, NLP engineer to make sure that when they see something come through, if it's a broken link on your site, or if it's somebody's asking about a broken discount code or coupon code, we're reaching out immediately saying, hey, they're having problems with this. Somebody is having problems with their checkout. Somebody can't remove items from their cart, things like that. So we're constantly giving feedback and also some insights as well. So that's what we're in constant contact.
Now you use an acronym, and that's in there, and I'm big on not using acronyms, and that's
No, I'm sorry.
So what is NLP?
NLP is natural language processing. So essentially what we try to, we build the bots to make sure that it covers all the different ways that somebody can ask a certain intent. So what intent somebody is, expressing with what they're trying to say. So, how many different ways can you say, when will my order arrive? Right? Because we're trying to say, hey, when's the wait time? How long do I have to wait? When's the lead time? Is my package on the way? There's all these different ways to ask one different question. So that's what we're trying to do, is trying to figure out exactly what their intent of the statement or question that they're asking.
Now, for different types, there's a whole bunch of different verticals that probably would really utilize an AI chat bot that is being built for them and for their company. Have you built anything for like in the health industry or health and fitness industry?
Yeah, so we actually have a product that we call LeadBot that is actually a kind of a stripped down, non-conversational AI chatbot. That one is geared towards lead generation and appointment setting. So we have a template that is in that industry and vertical. But really, we can take that product and really expand that one, and we're able to really push into the more on the customer service side, answer all of those questions with customer service, and then also do a little bit more lead generation as well.
Gotcha. So the opportunity to, if you need to understand how to build a sales team as you scale, is focus on the lead generation bot first. And then as you're learning and getting familiar with the questions that are coming in and understanding how your AI, your digital sales team member is, working for you 24/7, then start moving into the more conversational bot. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. And really, you think of chatbots as just one big conversation that you're trying to lead. So what we're really trying to gear towards is starting off the conversation on the right foot, continuing the conversation in a proper direction, and then once they go ahead and close, or further down the funnel in any which way, then we're able to continue that conversation to really make sure that they have great experience with not only your company, but your website and your online presence.
Perfect. Now, and I know you're busy because you need to create some more bots and robots and all this AI things that are helping businesses grow. Let's talk about e-commerce. So I have some clients who are moving into now more of the e-commerce with Shopify and wanting to be able to have better recommendations like Amazon, but they don't have an Amazon type of budget.
Mm-hmm.
So how does your AI chatbots help e-commerce platforms?
Yeah, that's exactly what we're focused on. E-commerce presents a great opportunity for chatbots. There are a lot of different ways that we can do that one. It's great for stores that have a high number of SKUs or a very overwhelming navigation bar, or even very complex products that have a lot of questions geared towards it. So with our chatbot, we are able to connect your product database that allows folks to search for products and then add to their cart right through the chatbot window. We just added some new features for order status and then also abandoned cart. So when somebody comes to your site and adds something to the cart and then leaves, whenever they come back in the next 30 days, the chatbot would actually remind them saying, hey, you left this in your cart last time. Here's the first item in your cart, and then encourage them to check out. And we track all of our conversions, all of the revenue that's brought into the bot, how many order status requests are come through, how many closes from the abandoned cart. So really, e-commerce is what is our focus.
Gotcha. And so with the things that you develop, and especially for my clients and those customers who are looking at creating that digital sales team, who want to use AI to create that sales force that works all the time for them, what's the difference between what you and I are doing compared to other things that are out there, like your mini chats or your mobile other type of chats are connected with Facebook Messenger?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do connect with Facebook. So that is a feature of ours. But really the difference is those other chats are most chats out there are what they call flow bots. So you flow, or it has a series of branching questions that you kind of you flow from one point to the next, and then once you start down a certain path, and you're kind of stuck going down that path. So with our chatbot, what we're able to do is we're able to switch conversations mid conversation. So we can start talking about, hey, I'm interested in hiking boots. They come in this size, they come in this color, and all of a sudden they ask something about your warranty or your shipping policy or something like that. So our bot is able to take that question, switch over to the shipping information and shipping policy, and then go ahead and switch back over to that hiking boot conversation. And then we can encourage them to check out. And then, if they don't check out, I hit them with the abandoned cart. So yeah, that's a big, huge difference with us is, having that ability to switch conversations. And because just like a normal human conversation, you start talking about the weather and then you move on to something else. So we're able to make sure we capture all that.
And that's where the artificial intelligence, the machine learning comes into the NLP. It comes into place. Is that right?
Exactly. So we're trying to, mark those keywords. So if they're talking about a particular product, we want to pull up the product information and encourage them to go to the product page, encourage them to check out. Versus if they're asking about a feature within the product, we want to make sure that it's not capturing, say, hey, here's the product. No, they're asking about what size of the hiking boot that comes with or what colors it comes in. So that's where we try to make sure that bot is coded correctly, and we're trying to capture the intent of what somebody's asking.
And that's key. So folks, if you're listening to John, we're most likely going to have a series on how to use AI to build a sales team. So I'll probably just go ahead and create the series. So John, can I have you back on for the next episodes?
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds great.
Wonderful. So folks, as you're listening to this, if you're a small business owner and if you're trying to build a sales team, but you have no money, to add more salespeople, this is an option for you. And so that's why click the link that you like this episode. Go ahead and subscribe to notifications. In the description section below, I have a link where you can connect with myself, and we'll just have a planning session. 15 minutes, talk about what you want to do with your business and how to scale that and how to create the digital sales, just not sales teams, but like you said, John, customer service as well, right?
Absolutely.
And so we're here to help. We're here to help you ramp up, and let's continue to make things happen and move forward. So until next time, my name is Kendall Matthews. My friend John here is going to help you out, and we'll make things happen to create the digital sales teams that you need to help your business grow and scale.